Xbox needs to fix its UI. Now, that might be a little harsh. I have no problems with the Xbox dashboard. Come to think of it, I don't really use the Xbox dashboard. I more or less use the Xbox guide, which I'm pretty satisfied with. It's pretty intuitive. It has all the stuff I need. Settings, chats with all my social stuff. I can navigate to my games and apps pretty easily. I think it's pretty intuitive compared to what they have over on the PlayStation 5. Now, the PlayStation 5, their dashboard, their UI, don't get me wrong, I like it because it's sleek, it's minimalistic. You know, you go over to the games tab and it shows you all the stuff that's going on in your games. And you go over the music tab, same thing. It's the same sort of thing that they've been working on that I liked so much in the PSP version that just had, you know, music, movies, game, and they had all that stuff separated. It looked clean, it looked nice. Over on the Xbox, it's not as organized, I would say, as the PlayStation side of things, but I will say that I'm generally pretty pleased with it. Like I say, I don't normally use the dashboard. I don't spend too much time in my dashboard as I do in my guide. But there's one thing I find questionable about the Xbox dashboard, and that's the ads. So I'm not here to complain about the existence of ads, but the placement on my dashboard is questionable. I just think it's weird. This is something that's been brought up in the Xbox community a couple of times. I know Jess Corden a couple of months ago ran a Twitter poll asking people straight up, hey, what improvements would you like to see in the Xbox user interface? And part of that was the ads. And I started thinking about this recently because I booted up my Xbox and I was gonna play Chivalry 2, normal day for Ray. And in the bottom right of my dashboard, there was an advertisement for this streaming service or like this movie rental service called Freevee promoting Shrek 1 and Shrek 2. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Shrek as much as the next guy. It's just like, you know, I get it. But like, I have a picture of it right here. Why is that amongst all of these other things that I use frequently? Game Pass, Crunchyroll, Naraka Blade Point, Freevee? What is that? I don't want that on my dashboard. What is that? And what I found interesting was that they actually have a feedback feature like they do on other social media apps where you can say, show me less of this, I'm not interested in it, or yes, this is a good ad for my algorithm. And I could do that with the Multiverse of Madness, a little Doctor Strange thumbnail. I could say, I'm not interested in this, or yes, I am interested in this, feed me more of this stuff, but I couldn't do it with the Shrek thing. I couldn't do it. It just would not give me the option. When I think back to February, when Elden Ring was launching, one of the biggest games of the past couple of years, possibly the biggest game of 2022, I saw nothing about Elden Ring on my dashboard in terms of ads. When I would go into the store, it wouldn't even show up in like the top promoted things. And the last time I said that, some people were like, well, I was seeing Elden Ring all the time in the Microsoft Store and promoted on my dashboard. So I know the experience differs, but for me, that's like, I spent a ton of time playing that game, almost 200 hours. And the fact that the algorithm couldn't figure out, hey, this might be a game that this guy likes. I noticed that he plays a lot of fantasy games, a lot of RPGs. Maybe we should feed out Elden Ring to him, try to get him to buy it. So yes, improve the algorithm, but then again, I'm subscribed to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which means I'm subscribed to Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold. And usually, when you pay for the top tier subscriptions for these services, they cut out the ads. There's no more ads, right? On Hulu, if you pay for a certain tier, you get no ads. Same thing with YouTube. If you have YouTube Premium, I think, you don't get ads anymore. You just watch the content, you just watch the video. So why is it that I'm paying for your top level subscriptions, paying for your games, your software, your product, and I'm still getting inundated with ads? It doesn't make sense to me. And one of the things I think is cool about the Xbox dashboard is that you can customize it. I took out that whole entertainment section because I'm like, I don't use this. I don't need it cluttering up all my stuff. I'm just gonna take this out. So I think they should take it a step further and let you rearrange the squares and whatnot, let you further customize the groups and cut down on the ads. Next up, I want more details about what other platforms and avenues that you can use this Xbox Game Pass app that's coming to Samsung TVs. That's a cool prospect, right? It's built into your TV. All you need is a controller. You don't need all this fancy hardware. You can just stream the games. I know not everyone's gonna be into that, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a nice option. But right now, it's locked at a price point that doesn't make sense for a lot of people. If you want to get this new xCloud streaming app for your TV, you gotta buy a 2022 Samsung TV. And now a lot of people are saying like, what? I just bought a TV, I just bought a Samsung TV, and it doesn't come with this Xbox app. I don't want to go buy another one. That makes no sense. The whole point of cloud gaming, this whole streaming thing that's been going on, xCloud gaming, is making it budget friendly. You don't have to buy a console, you don't have to buy fancy hardware. You could just stream it wherever you are with devices you already have, on your phone, on your crappy laptop. So I feel like it's a little antithetical to say, hey, this cloud gaming app is coming to TVs, but it's only coming to certain TVs. Next up, I want to know what is going on with this patent that Microsoft filed to plug an external disk drive into your Series S that allows you to get physical copies and give you ownership of the digital copies, if that makes sense. The idea is that you hook an external disk drive up to your Series S, you get a physical game copy, put that in, and it gives you ownership to the digital copy of that game that you can download to your Series S. That is a super interesting concept to me, and I know that's appealing to a lot of people right now, especially with all this DRM talk. It's still not super clear on Xbox's part, like what games you need to be online for and what games you really own. It was a whole thing with a lockout a couple of months ago. I think they should take it a step further. Put a disk drive in the Series S. Now, when this generation started, it was widely considered to be, okay, Xbox Series X, that's the big daddy, right? That's the Batman. Xbox Series S, that's more of like the sidekick, the Robin, if you will. But all around the world, people are like, nah, this is my main console, bro. The Series S, this is it. I like my Series S. And for good reason, right? It's a good little machine, it's budget friendly, and it's a great way to introduce Xbox, their ecosystem, in people's homes. That being said, since it's doing numbers, I want to see them throw a disk drive into that bad boy and see how well it sells. Let's go a little bit crazy. Keep it the same price. But Ray, how are they going to make money on that? Video game companies do not make money on console sales. That's something that we all learned earlier this generation when there was a couple of articles that came out. They were like, actually, no one's making money on hardware sales. It's all about software and subscription services. I started thinking about this because I wanted to buy Assassin's Creed Origins before it came to Game Pass so I could put a video up, hyping it up a little bit and giving my first impressions. So I went on the Microsoft store and it was $60. $60 freaking dollars for Assassin's Creed Origins. So I said, screw this, man. I went on down to GameStop and I bought that junk for $8. $8, a $52 discount. So unless Xbox is gonna start giving me deals like that, give me the disc drive so I can go find them myself. We gotta talk about this guy right here, the Elite Series 2. This is a controller. When I first got it, I was like, this is pretty cool, but it wore down pretty quickly. And on the back, like the top paddles right up here, it's like it's a 50-50 chance whether or not they're gonna register you actually clicking them. Now, a couple of weeks ago, me and Jimmy in our two host video, we were talking about how cool it would be if you can customize this guy using the Xbox Design Lab. I know it's not everyone's favorite controller, and me personally, I'm already starting to see some signs of wear, but I feel like this guy could make a real comeback if they improved some of the parts and allowed you to customize it like you can literally every other Xbox controller right now. With this new PS5 Pro controller on the horizon, the Pro DualSense controller, I feel like adding this to the Design Lab could be a nice little answer on Microsoft's part. And it makes no sense to me because this guy right here, the Scuf Instinct Pro, you can do that. You can customize the plate, you can get all sorts of cool designs on it. Like, you can do basically Xbox Design Lab, sort of, Design Lab Lite, on the Scuf controllers. It makes no friggin' sense. Like, a third party can do the Design Lab stuff for their Pro controllers, but the first party Xbox controller, you can't do that. It's just black, or like the Master Chief one that they put out. But I feel like people would shell out money if they were able to customize this guy in the way that they can for their regular wireless controllers. While I'm on the subject, I straight up want the Elite series to steal some things from the Scuf guys. I like these paddles, these back bumpers, way more than I like the magnetic ones that you would put in to the back of the Elite Series 2. But I will say, they give you a lot more in the Elite Series 2 versus the Instinct Pro. They give you way more thumbnails, a different D-pad, they give you all sorts of other things to play around with. Whereas these guys, they just give you the long stick, a concave stick, and I think that's it, and just a cord. So yeah, Xbox, step up your Elite Series 2 game, because when I tried this, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Next up, let's talk about the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, it took me a while to talk about this game on the channel, but I have a long history with the Elder Scrolls Online, ESO for short. I was part of like the last couple of waves of beta before it officially launched back in 2014, 2013, I think. I maxed out a couple of characters, or well, they were maxed out at the time. I haven't played in a while, but I had a maxed out Dragon Knight, Templar, and it's so crazy to see how much this game has grown since it launched all those years ago. You could argue that Elder Scrolls Online, since Microsoft acquired ZeniMax, is their most successful live service game right now. And Elder Scrolls Online continues to grow and continues to maintain a really solid player base, which is hard to do in the MMO landscape. There's a ton of MMOs competing for people's time and money, and Elder Scrolls Online seems to be chugging along just fine. In short, ESO seems to be a pretty valuable property for ZeniMax Online and for Microsoft. So why isn't it on PC Game Pass? Just to be clear, all the Elder Scrolls games are available on console Game Pass. So you have Morrowind on there, Oblivion, Skyrim, and Elder Scrolls Online. You can play that as part of your Game Pass subscription. But over on PC, you cannot play Elder Scrolls Online as part of your PC Game Pass subscription, or even if you have Ultimate and you have it for both console and PC. Why is that? PC as a platform seems to be where you want to hit the hardest when it comes to an MMO. I feel like that's the bulk of where you're going to get your player base when it comes to a game like Elder Scrolls Online. And we also know that Elder Scrolls Online, you can play it on Google Stadia, so we know that it can be streamed. We know it's possible. That seems like the perfect matchup, a perfect incentive for Game Pass Ultimate. Hey, stream this awesome MMO as part of your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. So yeah, throw ESO on PC Game Pass. I know a lot of people are on the service and they're like, I've always wanted to try this game, and now they're updating it to the point where I'm like, whoa, there's some really cool content coming. I want to check it out, but I can't play it as part of my Game Pass subscription that I pay $10 a month for. What's up with that? Speaking of Game Pass and ESO, give us a little bit more incentives. So give us something to sweeten the pot a little bit if we have Game Pass and Elder Scrolls Online. Because right now, all your Game Pass subscription gets you if you play Elder Scrolls Online is just a little discount on crowns. That's it, and maybe a couple of cosmetics. If you want to get the really good stuff, you gotta pay for ESO Plus. And it is worth it, I will say. If you play a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, the crafting pack alone is like, it's like addicting almost. It's almost like necessary at a certain point to be an ESO Plus subscriber if you want to get serious with the game.